Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in this wonderful world of ours. We are here again. My name is Scott, and joining me is Trina Paulus, who has a couple of really special things to share. Uh, and I'm going to just hand it over to you because you are more familiar with the details behind the true story behind the video that we're going to be showing in just a few moments, Trina. So why don't you go ahead and set us up for the video, please?
And dear anyone who's watching, we both apologize. We had some technical problems now, and I haven't really fully solved them. We did manage to get on just now. So sorry that we're kind of late. And so we'll just go ahead with our plan. Now, this is the 50th anniversary. This is what brings us together. Hope for the flowers. And my great gratitude toward God for giving me this story 50 years ago. It's 50th anniversary right now. So today I'm going to start with the whole butterfly process, like a short version of it, because I have the first monarch here that I didn't have to release for the sake of it. So it's over here, and I'll bring it up to show you. But first, I want to show you a caterpillar that's still crawling around. Okay, this is a you can see, I think, what it does to a leaf.
Now, is this the caterpillar we saw last week, Trina?
No, this is not, because that one has gone into chrysalis already. I can show you the chrysalis in a minute. But in terms of the order, and by the way, I save things like this or taller cups all year so that I have them and so that I can give them away to people, except we've had such a minimal number. This is just my third butterfly that's come out, and I usually have about 50 at this season. This is a high season here. So there's a caterpillar. Now this fellow is probably about 4 days from making a chrysalis. They come from the size of a grain of sand, and they just eat ferociously, and they change their coats because their coat is what holds them together until they can't eat anymore, and that coat has to split, and they act like they're dead a little bit. They just sort of stay there, and the new coat is forming inside, and then the old coat splits, and the caterpillar crawls off and eats the old coat because it's full of protein.
Yeah, and I didn't realize until very recently that monarchs don't have cocoons. Is that correct?
That's right. They make a chrysalis, and that's different than weaving a fuzzy thing around yourself. In the book, I use the word cocoon because it's so much more applicable to what we have to do, sort of making our cocoon, going into our cocoon. The word chrysalis doesn't ring quite like cocoon does in the English language, so that's why cocoon is used. And the image of the caterpillar making a cocoon when our caterpillar heroine, Yellow, looks up and it looks like he's stuck in some sticky stuff. Well, he is stuck in some stuff, but he's weaving it out of his own mouth and pulling it from a place that they make stuff. Now, these caterpillars do it. I'll show you a hanging chrysalis to show you they too weave a little bit, but all they weave is enough to let them hang someplace. So they don't crawl over. They don't make a big caterpillar pillar like the book has. That's artistic license. But they do end up making this, and I'll show you a chrysalis. Now, this is the kind of preferred jar, because if a butterfly comes out like the one that did today, it came out in this. It hung on the ceiling, not the ceiling, the lid of this, and then it came out, and sometimes they hang on the top of whatever container I have it in, or they sometimes. Oh, this is the fifth. That little black thing was what was left of the last layer that last coat that they had on, and I hope you can see it. Let's see, I'll put it.
We can see it,
You can see it,
Trina,
okay?
and it looks pretty smooth. Did it
It's
start off
very
smooth?
smooth now. It's very smooth. I think the one we showed before. Um, I don't know if we showed it to people. We just took the pictures. But this is a smooth one. It has little gold spots on it. So all the bumps of the caterpillar have smoothed out. And you see that it's hanging. There's a clasper at its tail end, and they have woven a little nub in which they hang themselves, and then they hang upside down for about a day in a J form, and then the next morning they go into this chrysalis. And Scott and I were lucky enough to see that, and he took a little picture of a part of the process because when it first comes out, it wiggles and dances around crazy, and you just feel it's going to fall off of that narrow little stem that it's on, and it looks very bumpy because the old caterpillar bumps are still there, but after half an hour or so, they all go out. Now, let's see. You've seen the caterpillar. The egg is like the size of a grain of sand. So in almost 3 weeks, it grows to something this inch from a grain of sand. And they just are voracious at the end of their trip. So I have here a monarch butterfly. I don't know what's going to happen. It might come out in my house because that's where I'm in the house. But here we'll take you out, and try to. And if you sit on my finger a little bit, which would be very nice if you decide to do that.
Okay, this is going to be a real treat if we can see this monarch butterfly.
Let's see. Come on, Guy.
And
Or girl.
he or she's less than a day old. Is that correct in this form?
This morning. Whoops.
Oh,
cooperate. Don't leave so quickly if you can be so
show
kind.
the camera. Oh, well, this is exciting.
It's won't stay long, I don't think. Oh,
there we go. Oh, there we saw it. That was so. Okay. That was so exciting.
Eager to get out. Now I'll be able to catch it when we're finished with this show, and it goes to a window. It goes to the light. It's dying to get away. It's dying to get. And I think this should be the kind it's September now, so it's probably the kind they call it the Methuselah generation. Now it's very fascinating. The ones that breed up here live about 2 weeks after they're emerge from the cocoon or chrysalis in this case, and then they only live about 2 weeks. They mate quickly. They start to drink the nectar from flowers that have nectar flowers the second day that they're born, and they mate and they lay their eggs, or she lays her eggs, and then they fly off. The Methuselah generation now has stronger wings and is supposed to be able to fly the 3,000 miles from New Jersey, middle New Jersey, down to the south of Mexico. You get Michoacan, Mexico, where it will stay for the winter. And that breed lasts about six months. Isn't that an amazing thing that the ones born coming out now at this time will live about 6 months, and the ones that generate up here live about 2 weeks. That's pretty amazing. So we just are trying to keep you up to date because it's a very short season, and maybe next week we'll still have more activity, but after that we say goodbye for the year, and we just have. I keep on my ceiling. I keep. Can you see that? Can you see that little empty chrysalis?
Yes, we can.
That's the one that this one came out of today.
Very small, but amazing.
So when I have a lot of them, I've done it right on the mantle in my house by the fireplace.
It must have been amazing. It must have been amazing to have scores, if not hundreds, of butterflies in your house.
One year I raised over 1,000, Scott.
Oh my!
And then but we're 90% down within the last 5 years, 90%. And this year, most of us who raise these babies, we can't go out and look under the milkweed leaves when we've seen a little activity, and bring the leaf and the egg inside, because the little egg, the size of a grain of sand, is a big morsel for little spiders and other things. The monarch itself and the caterpillar are rather toxic because they eat the milkweed, and the birds don't like them. And other butterflies mimic their colorant. That orange and black, the queen butterfly and a couple of others mimic that, so hoping that the birds will think that they're monarchs and not eat them. So it's quite an amazing thing. And when I think of losing them, and this moves me into the second request from Korea that we got, and Scott helped me make a new video for them. This is the 30th anniversary of the Friends of the Earth in Korea that have worked to save rivers, streams, and all the nuclear protests that they've had over there, and all the good things. And so we made this little video for them that he's going to play, and that will be the end of today's broadcast. And it's such a privilege to me to be working with these Korean activists. And why Korea reached out to me is because Hope for the Flowers was this big hit in Korea. It was in the school system earlier, and I found out when the legal edition came out in 2000 that there were already 24 pirated editions in Korea, because everybody was pirating everything else before the World Trade Organization came in and made them sign these copyright laws. So
are you ready for
that? The timing, I have no idea how much time we spent on this other, Scott. Yeah, so this is just a 3-minute video for the Friends of the Earth in Korea.
There'll be a rally that's going to be occurring in a few days, and as I understand it, and it'll be an outdoor rally, and there'll be a big screen, and this will be shown on the big screen to know who knows how many people. So let's go ahead and go to the video. Are you ready, Trina?
Yes. So thank you, everybody. I'm saying goodbye right now, and we'll say goodbye on the video, I guess. That's a goodbye,
Sure.
another goodbye on that video. So
So
goodbye my live. This is the live one I'm saying goodbye on.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, take it away. Thank you so much.
And I was very proud. I thought you did a wonderful job with this, Trina.
Hi, everybody. I'm Trina Paulus, calling you from the United States, and so honored and privileged to be with you. This is my claim to fame in Korea, and this is the 50th anniversary one. But I am so honored and privileged to be with you tonight. I'm a friend of the Earth, too, from way back, and to be invited to your 30th anniversary is very special for you and for me, because Korea is probably the country in this whole world that has been the most important related to Hope for the Flowers. My own theme right now is the theme of Hope for the Flowers. Ultimately, it's radical sharing, freely chosen. Both parts of that are essential. Radical sharing is what you can do when you become a butterfly and stop climbing over others to get to an imaginary top of anything that's not worth it, and die as a caterpillar, which is such a sad thing to think about. When you're meant to become this glorious creature that flies and can bring the love of one flower to another and fertilize them for their next generation and be fed by their own nectar as they go. So that's our mission in life, to do that. That's the way of practicing revolutionary love, and how to deal with our sadness at what's going on in the world. How to even deal with our anger and rage sometimes that we see as such crazy stuff. It's really hard for all of us to deal with. But the best way to deal with it is to do what you're doing and have a grassroots group that works together and struggles on things. So actually have some peace posters to show you. The first one is the recipe for peace. It's a recipe that we need for peace. And I made a whole series of these peace posters that people could carry and demonstration so the people watching it could know what they stood for. I want to show you to this wonderful quote from John F. Kennedy talking about the necessity of meeting each other across differences. And we have to learn how to do that around the world. Or we won't make it. We just won't make it. And I know you know this. I know I'm talking to my colleagues and my friends, fellow carers of the world, or the friends of the earth. It's a beautiful title, isn't it? Friends of the earth. May we all be friends of the earth. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate it. And let's have hopes for the flowers. Amen. Sisters and brothers. Peace.
And that's it. So
It turned out nicely, Scott.
Any final words, Trina, before we leave?
I think it's, considering all the technical problems we had, I think we did okay, guys. And I know that everybody here knows what a technical problem is.
So until next week, thank you, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.